Hello, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In this video, I'm going to show you how I make a floor plan using a CAD file from AutoCAD and how I import it and how I make it into a 3D model and how I model and I design in SketchUp. So let's get right into it. So there are different ways that you can make your 3D models in SketchUp. You can do them from scratch. So if you don't have a CAD file, you can do them also if you have a JPEG file. So you will import the JPEG file, which is normally a floor plan, but it's not in a CAD file format. Or you can just use a CAD file, which is in the case of this video, and it's normally if you're working on AutoCAD first, or probably you're working with an architect and then they give you a CAD file and then they ask you to make a 3D model. So this is the case that you would have to import it and then make your own 3D model of the house or the apartment or whatever it is. Right now we're doing an apartment, so let's just get right into it. So you want to go to File, and by the way, if you are in SketchUp free, you won't be able to import any CAD files, so you have to have SketchUp Pro or SketchUp Studio. So that's just one thing that you need to know. So I just want to import it, and I do have it here in let me just, it's this one. So that's a DWG file format, and that is the format for AutoCAD. You want to make sure that it says all supported types here or AutoCAD files. I just want to keep it on all supported. For the options, I never want to have this checked. This is a little bit more advanced, but for now I would just keep everything unchecked, and I just want to hit import. This is gonna show up this window, and it's basically telling you everything that's being imported. So just ignore it, close that off, and that's your file from AutoCAD brought into SketchUp. So how cool is that? This is actually a group. So if you're familiar with SketchUp, you know that groups are very important, and that's how this comes as a group. So you can't actually touch it or work in it unless you double click on it, and then you can actually if you double click on it, but you want to double click on the line work, and then you're going to see this bounding box, which is like dotted lines. This means that you are in edit mode, so you can now edit the group. And something that's very interesting is that you can actually delete this line work that you did in AutoCAD, which is kind of cool. But I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna undo the action by hitting Ctrl-Z on my keyboard. If you have a Mac, you want to do you want to do Command-Z if you want to undo the action. So right now I'm just going to click away. Actually, I want to first show you here. So these are all layers that were created in my AutoCAD file, but for SketchUp it doesn't really work like this, and these layers are basically useless. So I just want to select them all, right click, delete tags, and just it says that it's going to, all these layers are going to be, all this line work is going to be in the untagged layer, which is what we want. So we're just going to click OK. And I do want to create a new tag for this base, which is how I call it. The AutoCAD file is going to be called base, and I do want to create tags for my walls. So you just hit plus here and then create tags for your items, for your different items. And this is a way to keep your model very organized. You can create as many, and you can get as specific as you want. If you can't see this menu, you want to go to Window, Default Tray. If your tray is not here at all, like for example, if your model looks like that, you want to go to Window, Default Tray, Show Tray, and then in that menu you want to make sure that your tags are on, so the check mark is on. If you're on a Mac computer, you're not going to have the default tray. Why? That's just how it is. Mac doesn't have a default tray, which is very confusing for me, but anyway, you just want to go to Window, and your tags are going to be on this menu, and you just want to click on it, and a window is going to pop up with your tags. So right now I'm just going to make those very simple and basic tags, which are the items that I'm going to be creating. And how do you assign a tag to an object? So this is my base, so I just want to click on it, and I want to go to Entity Info. So same, if you don't have entity info, you want to go to window, default tray, and then just click on your entity info. Make sure it has a check mark so that it shows in here. It might be closed, so you want to click on the arrow just to open the menu up. And entity info, it gives you the information about the item that you select. So you want to select it. When it's blue, it means that it's selected, and it says that the tag is untagged, so there's no tag to it, and I want to assign it to the base tag. Okay, so what I can do now is I can go to my tags. If I click on the eye, it's going to turn it off. So this is a really good way to keep your model organized. So once we create our walls, our furniture, everything, I'm not going to want to have this ugly AutoCAD file in here. This is just a guide for pulling up all my walls. But once everything is a 3D model, I'm going to turn this off, of course. So for now, I just want to keep it on. And I'm going to do my walls first. So what I want to do is I want to go into edit mode. So I want to double click on this group. And you got to see this dots around it so that you can actually modify it. So how do I make my walls into real walls? You want to grab your rectangle tool, which is this one right here. And as you can see, these tools are new in SketchUp. If you have an active subscription with SketchUp, you can update to newer versions for free. So you just go to your Trimble account and just download the latest version. Right now, we are on the 2023.1 version. I mean, not we, but SketchUp. So I went ahead and downloaded it, and it turns out that the icons are new. So they are the same icons, the same tools, but they just have a different look, and you just have to get used to it. If you can't find anything, any tool, or probably because you're not familiar with these new icons, you can just search them. So if I want to use push pull, I just want to push and then click on it. It's going to activate it, and it's going to be highlighted so you know that it's there. So it's taking a little bit of time for me to get used to these new tools, but I think they're pretty cool. So I want to activate the rectangle tool. You can also type R on your keyboard, and you just want to go over the same line work as if you're going to make another rectangle the same size as this. So you're just going to click on one corner to the other corner. And the whole point of this is that a face gets created. So this is a face. So once a face gets created, you can actually just activate your push-pull tool. You can also type P on your keyboard, and you're going to bring it up, and it's going to become a wall. So that's how you're going to start out bringing up all your walls. But for now, I just want to create the faces. So I am just creating rectangles, and you always want to click on the corners. Do not just leave them hanging. Sometimes it works, like right now it worked. I just did one rectangle and I ended it. Oops. I did one rectangle and I ended it here, and it created the whole face because it's kind of like detecting that all this line work is connected, and so it creates a face, which is actually really cool. And if you have like this line work in your face, in the middle of your face, just get rid of it. So just use the erase tool or type E on your keyboard and just erase that. We just want to have the face so that when we click on the face and we push pull it, it's going to bring the wall up. If you have a line in the middle of it, let's say I have a line there. When you push pull, it's going to kind of like divide it. So that's why you don't want to have any lines in your face. And the face is this white part, which is going to be your wall. I just want to keep doing rectangles like that. I can just grab, I always want to do them from corners to corners so that I make sure that I'm actually going over my existing line work, because these ones are the actual dimensions of my floor plan. You see, sometimes like you create these rectangles, and then there's like so many faces that get created. For example, if I didn't want this face to be there because it's not a wall, I just select it, it turns blue, and then I just hit delete on my keyboard, and it's gonna be gone. And as I said, you don't want these lines in the middle of your faces, so you're just gonna delete them. And there's another one here, and there's another one here, another one here, and another one here. There are many. because I was doing like different rectangles, so it was just creating many lines. So for example, here I just make this, and sometimes actually you can just do lines. So this is very weird, like it's kind of impressive, but you can just do lines and it's going to automatically connect and create the faces. Like right now it didn't work, so I have to got a rectangle. You can type R on your keyboard and then just create it. So this is all with the rectangle tool. R is the shortcut. I love using shortcuts. It makes the workflow so much faster. So rectangle from corner to corner. So I think those are all my walls. Okay, so there's a wall here. And right now it's also going over my windows. So this is actually part of the window, so I don't want this. So I just click on the face, delete. This is also window, delete that. This is my mullion, so it's part of my window, delete, delete. I just want the walls for now. And hit type erase, E for erase. And I just want to erase those lines in the middle. And what we're gonna do in just a second is actually a lot of fun. And it's cool, it's kind of cool. So right now I'm inside of the group, right? I'm in edit group. So what I want to do, oops, there's one more here. So I want to get these faces out of the group. So I want to cut them and I want to copy them outside of the group. So I want to select them, and you can see like if they are all connected, they will get selected. So they will be like highlighted with these blue dots. But these ones are not highlighted. So because I want to do it in one go, I want to do like everything on one selection. So to add to this selection, I want to type shift on my keyboard. So type shift and you're going to have a plus next to your cursor and you're just going to click on the faces. And be very careful just to click on the faces, not on the lines, because they will get selected and you're going to have to start all over again. So you see right now I had this line dividing it, so I'm just going to have to click on this other face. Otherwise this would have been selected when I clicked on this one. So click on the faces, so the white basically, click on the faces. So click on the faces, there you go. So all of them are selected, or all of them are with this highlighted blue dots. I hope you can see it in the screen. So now I'm going to hit Control X on my keyboard. If you are on a Mac, you want to do Option X because you don't have a Control key. If it doesn't work, try Command X. But for Windows users, it's Control X. So it cut them, so it kind of like got rid of them, but I'm still gonna paste them and it's gonna work. So now you want to go outside of your group. So you just want to click away from the group just to close it up. And now I cannot modify it unless I go into it again, but I don't want to do that. And now I want to go to Edit and I want to go to Paste in Place. So now it's all going to be highlighted. You have faces and it automatically made lines and edges for the faces. Now everything is going to be highlighted. Do not do anything. Put your cursor inside of the faces. It can be any face. And then right click and make everything a group. And now you have walls. Now I can turn off my base layer so that you can only see the walls. And now it's going to be so much fun because you can actually go into edit mode. So this is a group, we just created a group. So you can double click on it and you will go into edit mode. So you have those dotted line around it, so you know that you're in edit mode and you can modify it. So you can go to push-pull tool, or you can type P on your keyboard, and then you're just gonna click on the face. And because they're all connected, they're gonna come all of them up. and then you just want to type the height of your wall. So 9 feet for this. To repeat that same action, the push-pull, and exactly the same distance, you just want to double click, and it's going to bring it up exactly the same distance that you typed. So because all of my walls are at 9 feet height, then I'm just going to double click on all of the faces. And now I just want to go back to my select tool, click away, and I have walls for my model. I want to bring the base back so that I can kind of like visualize how those are looking. So it's looking pretty good. Now, what I want to do is I want to create my floor. And when I create the floor, I first only do like a huge rectangle. So I do, once I have my walls in, I just grab my rectangle tool and from one corner to the other corner, and then I just activate push-pull and then just push it down just to give it some thickness. I'm gonna type 8 inches, so I want that to be the thickness of my floor. And it's not a group yet, so you see how it's all loose faces. So you can delete the base if it's kind of distracting you. You could even not delete, but hide it. And you can hide the walls. We haven't assigned the walls a layer, so we can do that right now. So you click on the walls, and then you want to put them under the wall tag or layer. If you are working on an older version, this is going to be called layer instead of tag, but it's the same thing. And then you can actually hide your walls. And now this is your floor, and it's not a group yet. And if you have worked in SketchUp before, you know that everything has to be a group, otherwise it's going to be a mess, a total disaster, a nightmare, and you don't want that. So you're going to triple click on it, right click, make it a group. There you go. And now you can bring back your walls. So now you have floor and maybe your base, so you can see how it's going to come together. To do the ceiling, to be honest, what I do all the time is I just grab the floor. I go to the move tool. You can type M on your keyboard to make it active. And I bring it up to here, to the ceiling. Before I click there, the new location, I type Control. So it actually creates a copy. So it keeps the floor and it adds a ceiling. So I'm just going to click, and there you go. And then I'm going to click away to deselect that. And now I have a ceiling. And to be honest, so I'm just going to put this into the ceiling layer. Ceiling, there you go. And I want to turn it off. When we're working on models, we never have our ceiling on. And you may see that the ceiling is kind of like going, like right now this is cutting, but really like you don't need to model anything that is, hold on, I just erased it. I don't want to erase it, I just want to hide it. So ceiling, okay, so I just want to hide it. For this project, I'm just working on the living room and on this bathroom. So here, of course, that this does not look like this, but I'm not going to model the entire house because I'm not working on the entire house, so it doesn't even make sense. So that's why in my AutoCAD file, I only did what I'm going to be working on for the project, because it's time consuming, and if you're not going to be working on that, then it doesn't make any sense. So this is the existing kitchen, and I did want to model it just to show you, and just to show myself what I'm working with, because this is the existing, but this is going to change. So this is kind of like the existing model, and I will change the layout for the kitchen. So these ones are my windows. So what I want to do here, because the windows are not actually going all the way to the ceiling, so there is wall. So I'm just going to bring this, I'm going to add a guideline. So this is the tape measure tool, and when you click on it and you click on an edge and then you drag it down, it's going to create a guideline. If you cannot see the guideline, you want to type Control Option if you're on a Mac, Control if you are on a Windows computer. So you're just going to bring this down, and this is actually just 7 inches. And then I'm just going to draw a line. You can type L on your keyboard, push pull, or you can type P, and then you're gonna bring this until it touches the, here, you wanna touch the edge. And then it's gonna create these lines that don't make any sense, so you just delete them, and it all becomes one wall. And you wanna do the same for the other one. So you can type T for tape measure, you click on the edge, you drag it down, you type, was it 7 inches, L for the line from one corner to the other, P for push pull, bring it, make sure it's touching the edge, E for erase, and there you go. So those are my windows. These guidelines, to delete them, you can erase them, so you can do one by one. But right now they're living inside of the group, so I cannot erase them. So what I can do is I can do edit, delete guides, and they're gonna be gone. So there you go. That is, oh, actually I'm looking at my notes, and these windows are not that big. So I wanna edit them. So I go into edit mode, so double click on the group, and they're actually, okay, so they're actually, hold on, they are 2 feet down. Yeah, they're not that tall. They wish. Okay, so there you go. And I have another one here. So I'm going to just bring that down. I could also, okay, so there you go. And I'm just gonna push. So this is like really not complicated. But if you have the wrong workflow in SketchUp, which I had for many years, it's gonna be a nightmare, because once you start adding your furniture and everything and your accessories, they will make your model so slow, like you have no idea, and then it's basically becomes impossible to work with it. And then when I just started learning SketchUp, I was always thinking like, this crappy program is really bad, like it's so slow and it's horrible, you know. But then I learned the right methods and the right workflow, and then I realized that I had been using SketchUp wrong all this time, and it's like, it wasn't, what's happening here, okay. I was using SketchUp wrong all this time, and it was really, like, I was really struggling. And then I learned the right techniques. What is happening here? Hold on. If your faces are not flushed and then you try to delete one of these lines, it's gonna delete the whole wall. Like, for example, you see this, you just wanna make this touch like flushed, so that when you delete the lines, the faces do not go away. And again, it's happening. Okay, I'll come back to that. It's not a big deal. So yeah, and then I just learned like the right way of working in SketchUp, and I was just like so happy. And here I forgot to draw this wall. I'm just gonna draw it again. That's okay. So another thing is that it's like, it's easy, but it's so I'm just gonna delete all the guidelines. And you have been asking me in all these videos and YouTube and Instagram that you want more SketchUp tutorials, but I always think like, I don't know how, like if you want like beginner level, intermediate level, because I don't really know what you're interested in. And even was it last month that I was asking you if you wanted like more SketchUp tutorials, and a lot of you guys were telling me that you want like a full course for SketchUp, like from beginner to advanced. And I'm like seriously thinking about it, because I know that if no one teaches you this program, and I lived it myself, it can be like really really hard and really stressful. So every once in a while you want to save your file, so you want to hit Control S. So I want to just save it in my documents. So I'm just gonna save it. This is the name of the project. So Churchill Residence, and this is model. So I'm just gonna save it there. Okay, so those are my walls, and I still have some, so where my doors are, I do still want to create a wall. Because the door, of course, that does not go all the way to the ceiling. So I measure like the height of the door, and then I put a guide there, and then I just create a line. And then I just push pull it, and then until I touch the line, and then I just delete these little lines that get created. And there you go. So I wouldn't have to do this because I'm not working on this for this project, but I wanted to just show you how I do it. So there you go. So those are my, and actually here for my window, I have, so there's a sill, of course, that the window does not go all the way to the floor. And sometimes I'm not really precise at all, because like, okay, if I'm not modifying this window, if I just want it to be there, and it's existing and it's not changing, then why am I gonna spend hours trying to model it and make it like super precise? If I am doing it for the same time, like if this window does not exist and I want to design it, then yes, I want to be like super precise with my modeling, because it's getting built, and even my AutoCAD plans have to be like so precise. But this is existing, so I don't mind if it's not exact. Okay, so that is my, okay, let me see what's happening here. I want this to be flushed. Okay, you know what? We'll come back to you as well. So what I want to do now, so I already had like the layout. So this is a renovation, this is a decoration project. Like this apartment was empty and they just want to kind of like add furniture to it, and the clients, like, they didn't know like how to do it, or like where to put the sofa and what's the orientation, like what size the sofa should be. So I did kind of like a mock-up of like the sizes in AutoCAD, but right now I do have to actually find the actual furniture. They have a huge patio and they have like a view here, so I did want them to be like, when they're in the sofa, they can actually look at the view. So what I want to do is I just want to bring in some furniture from the 3D Warehouse, which is like a website that is so amazing. So I just want to go to Window, 3D Warehouse, and people here, they upload all types of furniture. So let's say if I want to do a sofa, I'm just going to type sofa. It's super easy to use, and they recently changed the design of the website, and now it's like super cool. You can even choose to make it dark. Like right now I have in dark mode. So here you have like so many sofas, and normally you're not gonna find exactly what you're looking for or exactly the same sofa that you want to use, because like the chances that you're gonna find something that's exactly like from the manufacturer. Hold on, this is exactly like the one. Okay, never mind. Sometimes you will find it. This is exactly the one that my clients were looking at from the furniture store the other day. I was just telling you that you can't find it, but you can. Okay, it's similar. Oh, but it's not this one. Sometimes you get tricked, like you think this is a model, but this is actually a picture, and then they do the sofa here in the back. It's very close to it though. Okay, I kind of want to use it. Actually not, because it doesn't have any color, so I'm just gonna go back. And I just want to show you right now like how to do this, and I might just come back and do something different. So you can just choose whatever sofa you want, and you can spend a lot of time in here. Like it's just so much fun. And for example, this one. Okay, what is this, man? No, this doesn't even look like this. Okay, we're gonna just do that again. So I just want a nice sofa. Let's say this one. And the reason that you want to be very careful when you're like bringing in your furniture is that every time you bring in your sofa, like your sofa will have some of the, oh, and some of them will come with the picture. So you just double click on it and then you click on it and delete the picture. But some furniture pieces are extremely heavy. Now I want to type Q on my keyboard, Q, and then I want to just rotate it. So when you type Q, this is to rotate it. You want to make sure that this tool, this protractor tool, is actually blue, so that it's kind of like it's going to rotate in the right direction. So if it's not blue, right now it's black, you want to click on your arrow that is facing up on your keyboard. So the arrow that is your arrow key that is like facing up, and then it's going to be blue, and then you're just gonna drag a line, and then you can rotate it. And I do want that to be 90 degrees, so I'm just gonna type 90 and then hit enter, and it's gonna be rotated. And then to move it, just type M, just to move that. And that's how you bring in your furniture. And then this is exactly the same size that I was suggesting. I was thinking of an L shape, but this is just to show you, and this worked for now. So I quickly just want to add my flooring material so that this starts to look a little bit better. So I do want to double click on it, and I want to go to materials. If you can't see materials, just go to window, default tray, materials. Otherwise, just it's going to be here, and you want to go to plus here on this box, and then by clicking here on this folder, it's going to browse for a material that you have on your computer. And I already have saved a material, so I'm going to click on it. I think it was this one. I think this is the material that's closest to what it is right now. So you just open it, and it's gonna show what the material is. You can change the name, floor, apartment, super original. And then you just click OK. And then it's gonna activate the paint bucket tool, and then you're just gonna click on your floor. And there you go. And it seems like it's the wrong scale. So you can edit it. So you go to edit, and you can change, you can play with this. Like if I were to put like here 20, maybe I just put 30 inches. Is it changing it? I think it's changing it. 40, yeah, it's changing it. So I really just want it to be close. Like I want it to look okay. Sometimes I don't really want it to be like always specific exactly. And we're not changing the floor, so it really doesn't matter. So I'm just bringing in more I was just searching for some furniture that I didn't show on video because it took me forever. But this is furniture that I found in the 3D warehouse that I thought that it's very similar to what we want to use for there. And so we're just moving it. And this is for the bedroom. So this is going to be the master bedroom. And still, like, this is in the very early stages. We still have to kind of like design what's going to be on the walls, and it's kind of like a whole process that takes a really long time. And here we're going to have a patio with an umbrella for summer, and there you go. And so yes, I just wanted to, I think I'm gonna wrap up this video, and I just want to say that, oh, I'm not using that couch because we already have that other one. Which one do you like more? I think the lighter one. Delete. I'm just moving this with the move tool. You always want to move your objects when you are on the red axis or on the green axis. So you see how that line green appears, or where you move it this way, there's a red line that appears. That's kind of like the best way that your objects won't get like into crazy locations. Otherwise, like if you move them different location, like not aligned to the axis, like it starts floating. So if you're moving it like sideways, you want to do the axis red and green, and then if you're moving it up, you want to be on the blue axis, which is that one. blue axis. You see it even says blue axis. Anyway, so this is really just an introduction video of SketchUp and how I model. Still a lot of things to do, and this is going to be a kitchen, and I just want to show you what I want to do this. So what I want to do this, I want to get rid of these walls that are right now there, and I just want to bring them all the way down. When one face touches a parallel face, it gets deleted, you see? So it's kind of like magic. Or you can also use your erase tool and just delete all of that, but this is more fun. There you go. And for these little pieces, so what I want to do for this project is I want to create another wall here. So I want to get rid of what was there before. Just create a wall here. So it's probably going to come until here. Okay, so this was existing and I don't want it there. And then I want to create like an island. Okay, so first I want to create like cabinets like that. So I'm just doing it. I just want to show you, I just want to show you how this, come on. Okay, you know what? I want to erase the base so that I do not get distracted. So my rectangle tool, so I kind of wanted to do something like that. And I wanted to do like an island. And then so basically I wanted to, so like an island, and then this is where my stove, my cooktop gonna be, or stove, and then some stools. And there are better ways to do this, like I'm just really showing you like really quick, because this wasn't like part of the video. But anyway, like something like that. What do you think? And some stools. And actually maybe this wall can go away because it's kind of like, oh, I hope we can do that. Anyway, this is really, guys, the end of this video. I just wanted to show you how I start a 3D model from a CAD file. And of course that this is not even close to being finished, but I wanted to show you my workflow, some tips, some things that you want to keep in mind. And if you like this video, let me know in the comments. If you want more SketchUp videos, let me know as well. And I will see you guys in the next one. Bye bye.